You know that feeling deep in your gut, the one that whispers, "There's more for me"? The one that nudges you awake at night, reminding you of the dreams you once had before life got in the way? That feeling isn't random. It's your potential screaming at you, begging you to listen. But let's be real. Somewhere along the way, the world convinced you to play small. Maybe it was the voices telling you to be realistic. Maybe it was the expectations, the fear, the endless responsibilities that made you put yourself last. And now, here you are, showing up for everyone but yourself, wondering why you feel stuck, drained, or invisible. I see you, I feel you, and let me tell you something. There is a fire inside you that hasn't burned out. You don't need permission to take up space. You don't need approval to be powerful. The strength, the wisdom, the resilience, it's already in you. You just have to wake it up. Today we're going to talk about unlocking something unstoppable, the untold power of women, your power, the kind of power that changes lives, breaks barriers, and builds legacies. And the best part, you don't have to become someone else to have it. You just have to own who you already are. So let's get into it. Here are 5 game-changing truths that will shift your mindset and help you step into the power you were born with. If you only take one thing from today, let it be this. Here's what no one tells you, but every powerful woman knows. Let's break the cycle right now with these 5 truths. This is the difference between staying stuck and rising up. You are not waiting for the right time. How many times have you told yourself, "I'll start when I feel ready," or "I'll do it when the timing is better"? Maybe you've convinced yourself that once the kids are older, once work slows down, once you have more confidence, more money, more support, then you'll go for it. But here's the truth. The right time isn't coming. It never was. Waiting for the perfect moment is one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. It's how we justify staying stuck. It's how we let fear win. Because deep down, we're not really waiting for the right time. We're waiting to feel ready. And feeling ready, that's a myth. No one feels ready to change their life. No one wakes up one day magically braver, stronger, or more prepared. You don't suddenly become fearless, motivated, or clear about everything before you start. That's not how it works. Growth doesn't happen before action. It happens because of it. Think about the last time you did something scary. Maybe it was speaking up in a meeting, setting a boundary with someone, or making a decision that felt risky. Were you ready? Probably not. You did it anyway. And because you did, you proved to yourself that you could. Now, imagine where you'd be right now if you had started that thing you've been putting off 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. Would you be further along? Would you feel more fulfilled? Would you have built something, learned something, changed something? Exactly. The harsh truth is, every day you wait is a day you can't get back. Time is passing whether you take action or not. Life isn't going to pause and wait for you to feel ready. It keeps moving. And if you're not moving with it, you're choosing to stay behind. So let's get real. What are you actually waiting for? Are you waiting for permission? Because no one is coming to give it to you. Are you waiting for certainty? Because nothing in life is guaranteed. Are you waiting to feel more confident? Confidence isn't what makes you start. It's what comes after you start. I know it's scary. I know it feels overwhelming. But what's scarier, waking up 5 years from now in the exact same place, still wondering what could have been if you had just taken that first step? Stop overthinking. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop telling yourself you need more time. The time is now. And you are ready, even if you don't feel like it. Fear is a liar, and self-doubt is its partner in crime. Think about all the times fear has whispered in your ear. What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if people judge you? It's relentless, isn't it? That voice in your head that tells you to stay in your comfort zone, to play it safe, to avoid risk at all costs. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. It doesn't tell you the truth about what's possible for you. It doesn't tell you about your strength, your resilience, or your ability to figure things out. It only tells you the worst case scenario. It magnifies every insecurity, every doubt, and every reason why you shouldn't move forward. And the worst part? We believe it. We let fear make our decisions. We let self-doubt dictate our choices. We convince ourselves that we're not smart enough, talented enough, experienced enough. And before we even try, we talk ourselves out of it. We let fear win before we've even stepped onto the battlefield. But let me ask you something. How many times has fear been right? How many times have you worried about something, lost sleep over it, only to realize later that it wasn't nearly as bad as you imagined? How many times have you held yourself back from an opportunity, only to regret it later? Fear thrives on worst-case scenarios, but what if, just for a second, you flip the script? What if instead of asking, what if I fail, you asked, what if I succeed? What if instead of thinking, what if people judge me, you thought, what if they're inspired by me? Because here's the truth. Self-doubt is not a sign that you can't do something. It's a sign that you care about it. It's a sign that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. Every single powerful woman you admire has felt fear. Every single person who has done something great has doubted themselves at some point. The difference? They didn't let it stop them. Fear doesn't go away. Confidence doesn't magically erase self-doubt. You don't wake up one day completely fearless. That's not how it works. You act despite the fear. You move forward even when the voice in your head tells you not to. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in spite of it. And guess what happens when you do? The fear gets smaller. The self-doubt gets quieter, not because it disappears, but because you prove to yourself that you're capable. You show yourself over and over again that you are stronger than the fear that tries to hold you back. So the next time fear tells you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not ready enough, I want you to challenge it. I want you to ask yourself, is this fear speaking or is it truth? Because 9 times out of 10, it's just fear trying to keep you small. And you weren't born to play small. You were born to rise, to step into your power, to go after what you want despite the fear. The only way to silence self-doubt is to prove it wrong. And the only way to do that, start moving right now. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be brave. There's this huge misconception that the most successful, powerful women somehow have no fear, that they wake up every day full of confidence, ready to take on the world without hesitation, that they don't feel anxiety, doubt, or hesitation before making big moves. But let me tell you something. That's not true. Fear is human. It's wired into us. It's the brain's way of trying to keep us safe. And when you step outside your comfort zone, whether it's speaking up in a meeting, starting a new business, setting boundaries, or making a life-changing decision, fear is always going to show up. That little voice will start whispering, what if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself? What if you're not good enough? And this is where most people get stuck. They assume that fear means stop, that discomfort means this isn't for me, that hesitation means I'm not ready. But the truth? Fear isn't a stop sign. It's a green light. Think about it. When has anything truly great in your life happened without a little fear? When you took that job that challenged you. When you said yes to an opportunity that scared you. When you made a choice that stretched you beyond what you thought you were capable of. You weren't fearless, you were brave. Bravery isn't about not feeling fear. It's about acting despite it. It's about looking fear in the face and saying, I hear you, but I'm doing this anyway. Let's be real. If you wait until you feel fearless before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. Confidence doesn't come first. Courage does. You don't magically wake up one day feeling unstoppable. You build that feeling by showing up again and again, even when your hands are shaking and your heart is pounding. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to take one step, and then another, and then another. Because here's what happens when you do. Every time you act, despite fear, you prove to yourself that you can. You collect evidence that you are capable. And the more you do that, the less fear controls you. Not because it disappears, but because you've trained yourself to move forward anyway. So many women hold themselves back because they believe they're supposed to feel confident first. They think that if they're scared, it must mean they're not ready. But the truth is, confidence follows courage. You don't become confident and then take action. You take action, and that's what makes you confident. The first time you speak up, it's terrifying. The second time, it's still uncomfortable. The third time, it's easier. And eventually, it's second nature. Fear loses its grip on you when you stop letting it make your decisions. So whatever you're afraid of right now, starting that business, changing careers, setting that boundary, putting yourself out there, don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you feel fearless. Just take the first step. Do it scared. Do it uncertain. Do it messy. Because bravery isn't about not having fear. It's about deciding that fear doesn't get to hold the pen when you're writing the story of your life. Boundaries aren't selfish, they are survival. How many times have you said yes when you really wanted to say no? How many times have you put someone else's needs above your own, even when you were exhausted, overwhelmed, or completely drained? Women are conditioned from an early age to be caretakers, nurturers, and peacekeepers. We're taught to be agreeable, to avoid conflict, to make sure everyone else is comfortable, even at the expense of our own well-being. We wear our ability to handle everything like a badge of honor, as if being constantly overextended is proof of our strength. But here's the truth. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you keep saying yes to everything, if you keep stretching yourself thin to meet everyone else's expectations, if you keep putting yourself last, you will burn out. And when you burn out, you don't just suffer. Your work suffers. Your relationships suffer. Your dreams suffer. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about protecting your energy so you can show up as the best version of yourself. They're about creating space for your own needs, desires, and priorities. They're about recognizing that your time and energy are valuable and that you don't owe anyone unlimited access to them. The problem is, we've been made to feel guilty for setting boundaries. We worry that we'll disappoint people, that they'll think we're selfish, that we're being difficult or unkind. But let me ask you this. Why is it selfish to take care of yourself? Why is it okay for everyone else to have needs, but not you? The people who truly care about you want you to take care of yourself. The people who get angry when you set boundaries, they were benefiting from you having none. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. Prioritizing your time doesn't make you unkind. Choosing yourself doesn't mean you don't care about others. It means you finally care about yourself too. And let's be real, if you don't set boundaries, the world will set them for you. Your job will take as much as you give. People will ask for as much as you allow. If you don't protect your time, someone else will fill it for you. So how do you start? First, recognize that boundaries are your responsibility. No one is going to give you permission to set them. You have to decide that your time, your energy, and your peace matter enough to protect. Second, practice saying no, without over-explaining, without apologizing, without feeling like you owe anyone a justification. A simple, I can't commit to that right now, or that doesn't work for me, is enough. Third, expect pushback. Some people won't like it when you start setting boundaries, especially if they're used to you always saying yes. That's okay. Let them be uncomfortable. Their reaction is not your responsibility. And finally, remind yourself that you are not here to be everything for everyone. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to protect your energy without feeling guilty about it. Because boundaries aren't just about survival. They are about reclaiming your power. And you, more than anyone, deserve that. Your voice is your superpower. Use it. How many times have you held back from speaking up because you were afraid of what people might think? How many times have you swallowed your opinions, your ideas, your truth, just to keep the peace, to avoid making waves, or because you weren't sure your voice even mattered? I get it. Society has conditioned women to be careful with their words, to be polite, to be agreeable, to not be too much. We've been taught to soften our opinions, to shrink our presence, to avoid being labeled as difficult or bossy or too emotional. But here's the truth. Your voice is powerful, and every time you silence yourself, you give that power away. Think about the times when someone else spoke up, and it changed something for you. Maybe a woman at work asked for a raise, and it made you realize you deserved one too. Maybe someone shared a personal story that made you feel seen, understood, and less alone. Maybe someone challenged a conversation in a way that made you rethink your own perspective. That's the power of speaking up. It doesn't just change your life. It has the ability to change others' lives too. But so many of us hesitate. We second-guess ourselves. We worry we'll say the wrong thing, that we're not qualified enough, that our opinions don't hold as much weight as someone else's. And so we stay quiet, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect words, the perfect confidence. Let me tell you something. That moment isn't coming. No one is going to hand you the perfect opportunity to use your voice. No one is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, now is your time. If you're waiting to feel completely ready, completely confident, completely fearless before you speak up, you'll be waiting forever. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to make an impact. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to decide that what you have to say matters, because it does. Every great leader, every change maker, every woman who has ever made a difference started by speaking up before she felt ready. She started by using her voice, even when it shook. So if you have something to say, say it. If you have an idea, share it. If you see something wrong, call it out. If you have a dream, declare it. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone else to do it first. Stop assuming that your voice isn't as important as everyone else's. Because when you speak, you inspire others to do the same. When you own your voice, you give others permission to own theirs. The world doesn't change when women stay silent. It changes when we show up, when we speak up, when we step up. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's messy, even when it's terrifying. Your voice is your superpower. Use it.